Welcome to Star Wars Action News, helping Star Wars collectors collect better.
And now we want to take a look at some Kotobukiya ArtFX Plus statues. We've talked about these quite a bit in various store reports. We reviewed a couple a long time ago, but it's been a while since we've talked about them. And with us unpacking our Celebration exclusives, I thought we would take a look at this ever-growing line of primarily original trilogy-focused figures. We've got the K3PO and R3A2 here, and we also have, courtesy of Kotobukiya, a pair of the Royal Guard ArtFX Plus statues that we'll start taking a look at first. They were kind enough to provide us with review product here because we have not gone all in on the ArtFX Plus, but I've got quite a few of these. I've been focusing on more of the exclusive R2 units that they've been doing at conventions across the country, and then a couple at Barnes & Noble. I've been picking up some of the statues. I started off, I got all the Clone Troopers and the Clone Wars figures with the Build-A-Yoda, but they kind of moved away from the Build-A-Figure set and are now really doing original trilogy ones, and they're doing some of the best of their entire line coming up with that Luke and Leia and the Han and Chewie that are out. And here they've got the Royal Guards. And this is a 2-pack where you're getting 2 of the same model. And their ArtFX Plus, if you're not familiar, are a lot smaller than their ArtFX line of vinyl model kits, which is what they sell these as, is model kits because of licensing. But these are about 6.5 inches. They're just a bit larger, so out of scale with the Star Wars Black Series. They're noticeably larger than that, but only about 1/2 inch to 1 inch taller.
Yeah, they're nice petite size, and one thing I love about them is they come with the bases, and they're magnetic on the base.
Yeah, that's one of the features they introduced really early in the line, is having the magnets in the feet that go into this metal base. And the metal base, they've gone to really basic black metal bases so that they can interlock, you can spread them out. It can almost become like a game grid of these black things you can just square together and have as big a diorama as you want.
Well, and the nice thing is that you can put more than one figure on this base if you wanted to. You could move them around and have 2 Royal Guards on the one base, because otherwise you've got this big space between them. So it's kind of nice that you can arrange and move. And I really like how they do the magnet base, because the base looks nice and good. It's a nice flat black. It's a little textured on top, and the magnet in their feet is actually embedded in their feet so that it doesn't stick out and there's no funny peg hole, because sometimes they don't sit right on peg holes. You know that. Yeah,
and it's a pretty strong magnet. It would pass a minor earthquake.
They would just wobble, actually. I'm wobbling him now. If there's an earthquake, they just wobble. It's kind of cute, actually.
Now, I said these were model kits, but depending on which one, depends on the assembly. And this was perhaps one of the most easy to assemble model kits Marjorie has ever put together.
I cannot do model kits. I lose my patience, I get mad, and then I turn into Hulk and smash things. So this was really great because all he had to do was put his feet on, and there was no question about where his feet were. You could not put the wrong foot in the wrong hole. It was perfect for me. So I put his feet in, put him on his stand, and then I was able to put his lightsaber in his hand, which just kind of sits there, and he holds it, you know, in their pose like it's laying against their body.
Force pike, actually.
Force pike. Sorry, it looks like a lightsaber.
Yeah, the base does. Although, admittedly, you have 3 things to do. Put on both feet, put the force pike in his hand. You did put the force pike in the hand wrong initially.
I did do it cross-body style because it never occurred to me to look at the front of the box to see how it was. Like I said, this is not my area of expertise. This is an area of opportunity for me. If this was my yearly performance review for putting together model kits, I would get a 3 on this. A 2?
It's maybe a 2.
Really? I'd be below average?
I do think that a 3-piece model kit puts you just... That's where the opportunity is. 3 means you're meeting expectations. Oh, if you have opportunities, that would be a 2.
Next thing you know, I'm going to be on a performance improvement plan for model kits. I can't take this pressure.
Well, we'll have to get you on a Lego course of action.
Yes.
But it is very simple. So if you are, like Marjorie, put off by the words model kit, it is extraordinarily simple. It is much easier than even the Bishojos that had all those interchangeable pieces that we put together and everything. And I did also say this is a vinyl statue, so that means you're not dealing with any mixed media. It's not going to be a soft goods cape or anything. And again, we always talk about soft goods. There's pros and cons to that. If you do it really well, like some of the sideshow stuff and some of the Hot Toys stuff, then it still has the problem of being a little baggy and sometimes not matching quite right. If you get it just right, though, it can look very good. It can also stretch out over time. With the vinyl, you're not going to get to move anything. This is a statue, not a figure, but it also is going to be sculpted and painted in such a way that Kotobukiya, whose tagline is craftsmanship, is trying to give you the best presentation possible. And here, I think they've done a phenomenal job with the sculpting of the robe. You can see just little wrinkles and the way it kind of drapes.
Well, what's nice about it, too, is, the helmet is nice and shiny and latex look like it does in the movie, but the way they did the robe is they did a different texture and wash on it, so it actually looks like fabric from far away. And at first, when I pulled it out of the box, I thought it was fabric. I'm like, how did they do that? And then I touched it. I'm like, okay, it is vinyl, but the way they did it, it looks like an actual fabric robe hanging there.
Yeah, they gave it a nice wash. I don't think of vinyl when I think of their helmets, but I do think, I guess, of plastic, just the real shiny look like the Royal Guards had in the movie, and then a high gloss black for the visor, too, These guys scared me when I was a kid. I mean, in their red outfits, and they never spoke, and you never saw their face behind the black visor, and if they were guarding the Emperor, obviously there were better shots than stormtroopers, right? We've got, a movie a year coming out? Maybe we'll get to see some Royal Guards kick ass, but at the moment, I just have childhood awe of these red-clad badasses. And so the helmet really captures that, but then the robe, yeah, they gave it a wash so it looks totally different. It has just a nice darkness. It's redder at the bottom and gets kind of more blackish red as it goes up.
Well, what they did, and it's really clever how they did this, and again, Koto makes really great items, and they really do live by their motto of craftsmanship, but the wash is darker in the folds of the fabric, like where you'd see the shadows, and that's why it looks like it's gradient, but that's what makes it look like it's fabric, is the wash in the folds.
Now, like they would be seen standing guard, one of their arms is completely obscured by the robe, so they really only have one arm and one hand poking out. Given how many limbs are lost in Star Wars, maybe they lost their opposite arm in battle with the Jedi before the Purge, and in that you can rest the Force Pike and have it just kind of resting against their shoulder. And the two models here are exactly the same. I mean, they're not mirrors where one has one arm out and one has the other arm out. So if you had them standing next to a Darth Vader or an Emperor, they would just be the same. It's like troop building. They didn't do two different Royal Guards here. They're just giving you two in the one pack.
And they can both fit on the same base. So if you wanted to do that, or side by side, they're also very scary.
Yeah, I like having the two bases there so that they're not crowded like they're on a dance floor and they just can't move, or on a subway, but you have the two, but then you just don't center them on the bases. But no, I'm really impressed with these. And if you look at our pictures or our video from San Diego Comic-Con last year where they had that massive Stormtrooper display set up, that was incredibly amazing. And the stuff they're doing in the smaller line is nice because it has an affordable price point. But more and more as my collection grows, I'm also finding the appeal in really high quality items with a small footprint.
Yes.
That don't take premium format figure space to display. And these are really affordable. You can get a 2-pack for $80 online. The MSRP is often a little higher on these, but you can really get a discount a lot of times on some of these ArtFX Plus statues. So if you don't have them, I really highly recommend this. This is a nice piece. I like having the two. Now I just have to hope they get us an Emperor, maybe an Emperor on the throne to pose them next to.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Star Wars Action News with more collecting news and reviews at swactionnews.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. May the pegs be stocked and the Force be with you.